Far post rotations is one of the best rotation tips in Rocket League. Not only can it help make the game easier for yourself, it can even make your teammates play better. So let's get right into it. Okay, look, I know what you're thinking. Does this guy just say I can help my teammates play better? I know it sounds impossible, but give me a chance and I promise you we will get to it. For this video, we'll start by defining what is a far post rotation, then we'll go into the huge list of benefits on why we should be rotating far post, and answer one of the biggest questions I get. How do you expect us to rotate successfully when my teammates refuse to rotate at all? And finally, we'll get into when rotating near post is acceptable or even preferred. Okay, so what is a far post rotation? The far post is the goalpost that is furthest away from the ball. So the easiest way to tell is to simply divide the field in half, and whichever goalpost is not on the same side as the ball, that is the far post. A far post rotation is just rotating on that side of the field. So let's say you just made a play on the ball. Instead of taking the shortest path to rotate back right away, a far post rotation means you turn towards the other half of the field and rotate towards the far post instead. Rotating back on the same side as the ball is what we call a near post rotation. One quick tip on performing the far post rotation: if the ball is going to cross the field, try to prepare for that and rotate on the side that the ball is leaving. So even if you're starting off on the near post side, since the ball is crossing anyways, just continue rotating here to go through with the far post rotation. Now, let's answer the most important question.
Why do we far post rotate?
Well, that's a good question, Alfred. As I said before, there are so many benefits to far post rotations, and we will go through all of these, starting with number 1, better angles. If you find yourself having to do awkward saves or backward clears or anything like that, then it probably means you're a dirty near post rotator. I'm sorry, it's true. When you rotate far post, you're actually setting yourself up to hit the ball directly with your next move, keeping your hits simple and easy. But if you go near post, you risk putting yourself in a really awkward position, making it incredibly difficult to get a meaningful clear. Going far post is going to make this game so much easier for you if most of the hits you need to make are driving straight into the ball with your nose. The next advantages we're going to bring up are the ones that can really help your teammates play better. Starting with number 2, reducing confusion. This next tip is probably the most important one. Reducing confusion can reduce your teammates' hesitation, helping them play faster. Let's take a look at this play from your teammate's perspective. At this point, your teammate has probably seen his fair share of ball chasers. So when you're rotating back right next to the ball, that's pretty spooky. Your teammate probably has no idea whether you're going to go again or if you're simply rotating out. Let's compare that to what a far post rotation looks like, but from your teammate's perspective as well. When you rotate far post, look how clear it is that you're not going to be going for that ball. You're on the other side of the field, your car isn't even pointed at the play. There's just no confusion here that it's your teammate's turn to go. This is how we can help our teammates play faster. With a good and clear rotation, after you go, your teammate can immediately go, as opposed to a confusing near post rotation where you would go and then your teammate has to wait to confirm you're rotating out before they can go. And adding this extra wait is just incredibly slow. But if your teammate doesn't wait, then they have no idea if they're risking a potential double commit. And this is how consistently going far post can help increase the overall speed of your team and just make the rotations a bit easier to understand for your teammates. Before we get to number 3, if you haven't already, help me destroy that like button. And who knows, maybe your like can help the YouTube algorithm match up your bad teammates with this tutorial, so you can run into less teammates that do stuff like this. Okay, but really, hooking me up with that like and subscribe helps me so much with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks. Okay, our third reason for doing far post rotations. We get to avoid bumping our teammates. Did you ever bump your teammate and then spam while you watch on helplessly as the ball gets scored? Well, that's just embarrassing. So let's go far post to avoid team collisions. If you're rotating out on the other side of the field, there's physically no way you'd really run the risk of bumping into any teammates that are coming into the play. Bruh. Even if you and your teammate manage to avoid one another, they might have had to go out of the way to avoid bumping you. And now they have to get the ball over your opponents and you, which severely limits their options on how they're able to play the ball. So rotate far post to avoid any potential team collisions and allow your teammate to play the ball however they like. And number 4, team boost management. So let's start off by getting one thing straight. If you're rotating and say you and your teammate are going for the same boost, that is not your boost. You do not need boost to rotate, which is technically just driving around the field. Your teammate playing the ball, on the other hand, does need boost. So what happens if your teammate grabs this boost? Now we're probably just going to go all the way back, grab the 100 in your corner, and you would be in a pointless position. Because if you need to move back up to make a play at this point, you'd waste half your boost just getting back into the midfield. And this is where far post rotations come into play. If you're rotating on a side of the field that doesn't have the ball, chances are people aren't playing here and the boost is just free. But more importantly, it lets your teammate freely grab any boost they might need to carry out their play. This mistake happens extra often after kickoffs. After a kickoff, instead of going right for this boost, if your teammate cheated up to make a play on the ball, let them have it so they have an easier time making a more meaningful play while you grab pads while rotating far post to back them up. By focusing on pads while rotating far post, that'll make it easier for you to stay relevant in the play and free up any boost pads on the active side of the field, which, again makes it easier for your boost hungry ball chasing teammates. Hopefully by now, I've successfully convinced you to start rotating far post. And let's get into a couple tips on the rotation itself. First of all, should we still even rotate far post if our teammate won't rotate and they're just ball chasing? And the answer is yes. If your teammate is truly ball chasing, eventually they're going to get in a position where they can't get a good touch and just completely lose the ball. At this point, you want to make sure you're behind them, ready to receive the ball. And as mentioned in the first benefit, you don't want a bad angle when it's finally your turn to play. So rotating far post when you have a ball chasing teammate will ensure that when it's finally your turn, you have a solid touch with your nose to make some big plays. One of the most common far post rotation mistakes happens on defense. If you're the first player to challenge in the corner and the ball goes past you, your first instinct might be to rotate near post to save that ball. But doing so is a near post rotation that will hinder your teammate and yourself in the long run. Going near post to stay close to the ball will get you 0 boost, while going far post will easily get you 24 or more, which is what you need to make any save from the far post position. Even if you consistently rotate far post under normal circumstances, keeping up with your far post rotations on defense when you're under pressure is extra important. Our final tip is, when should we near post rotate? For starters, it's sometimes physically impossible to always rotate far post. In those cases, just rotate back near post while staying out of the way as much as possible. Another time to rotate near post is when you want to cut rotation. Consistently rotating far posts can help your teammates know when you plan to cut, since you'll only be going near post when you're planning to go again. You should be careful not to ball chase, but Rocket League is a dynamic game and sometimes a cut and rotation is the optimal play. But when is it good to consciously rotate near post? The most common situation is when you're trying to open up a downfield passing play. If your teammate is about to clear the ball without any opponents stopping them, chances are when they boom it downfield, it's gonna go on the near post side. So you could rotate near post to be ready to receive the pass. If they are at risk of getting challenged though, you should definitely be rotating far post, just in case the 50-50 doesn't go your way. And that's all I had, guys. Far post rotations is one of my favorite tips to go over in Rocket League, and people make far post rotation mistakes in every rank, so I really hope you found this helpful. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you next time.